The session is going to be recorded now, and we have already discussed the importance of assignments and the deadlines that you need to cover. Yeah, and the today's session is the relational database systems. Yeah, and the relational database systems is the one of the unit of your level 4 course. The contents of the course of this particular unit are basically, this unit will develop learners' understanding of the database systems and data analysis and modeling. They will understand how normalization and functional dependencies theory is used to design a relational database and how the client-server model is used. This might be, little bit going through your mind or not. May I ask again, did you read the computer systems and software unit well, very well?
I read it not very well.
So even into this unit, once you finish this unit, introduction to computers is done very well, and you should be able to understand very well what the database system is. Like in this unit, in the computer systems and software, the general and definition level terminologies are given to you. What is computer, what is hardware, what is software, what is the word processing, what is the databases, what is data and what is data and information, and what is bit and byte. Vishwan?
Yes. Yes.
Are you clear about the memory units?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. So apart from the normal computational uses of the computer, yeah. Now it's time to store something permanently on the computer. So the databases are used. Yeah. So let us formally start with the databases. In this unit, excuse me. Yeah. So we will be able to cover the understand database management systems, then understand database design, and then be able to design a database system. Yeah. So let us see from the definitions now. Is the font size okay for you?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So overview. Data is a fact or figure. Yeah. Database is a collection of related data, and data is a collection of facts and figures that can be processed to produce an information. I hope you should be clear that for example, any data means, for example, a name, a number, yeah, that is the data. And when it says like that this is a name of the student, yeah, this is the roll number of the student, then it becomes the information. Yeah. So when you create a base, yeah, when you create a kind of repository, yeah, something to store, then it becomes a database. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
Mostly data represents the recordable facts. Anything that you want to store or record, that makes a database. How? For example, if you are interested to store the detail about the students, if you are interested to store about the details of the employees, then that data becomes the fact that needs to be recorded. Yeah. Now data helps in producing information which is based on facts. For example, if we have a data about marks obtained, like I explained, then that's the purpose of the data. Now database management system. You might be confused that what is the difference between the database and what is the difference between the database management system, isn't it? Basically, the word management system is pointing towards a computer software which is for the database, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So what normally when you are using, for example, the database like Oracle, like MS Access, you must have used, yeah, or SQL Server. Normally you say like which database you are using, you say I'm using the SQL Server, but basically you are using a database management system, isn't it? Yeah. So basically that's a complete software for creation, definition, and manipulation of the database. Yeah. Database management system is actually a tool used to perform any kind of operation. So there's a tool basically. Yeah. How it's a tool? Tool allows you to get it operated very well in different ways. Like you have a data, but if you are using the data without any tool, for example, if you stored lots of data into a word processor in Microsoft Word, you still will have the data, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, but you would not have a tool to manipulate it. Yeah, that's why the database management system is there. So database management system also provides you the protection and security to the database. Make sense? Like like if you have a word file, then probably you can anyone can read that data inside the file. If you make it a password protected, then only one person can access it, and they can access it, the whole document. But if you create a database, then you can define the lots of privileges into the database, maybe some of the permissions given to some of people, and some of the restrictions to some people, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. It maintains a data consistency in case of multiple users. Yeah. Like multiple users are accessing the same record, like there is a company, yeah, and there are five number of staff. They are accessing the records, but the data remains consistent. Yeah. Consistency is that they don't get changed, and they don't get mixed up because of the number of users, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So here are some examples of like a database like a DBMS, MySQL, Oracle, Sysbase, Microsoft Access, IBM DB2. You must have heard few of them, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the basically the a definition and a big picture of the database. Yeah. Now certain characteristics of the database, that it represents the real world entity. A modern database management system is more realistic and uses real world entities to design its architecture. Like I explained earlier, that you can store your data into a Word file, yeah, but it would be very difficult for you to get it organized and processed, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. But the databases allows you to create the entities according to the real world existence. For example, if you want to store the information about the student, like student record, yeah, then it will give you a kind of a box, an object, a placeholder that you can easily store the information about one student without looking at the any open structure. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then another characteristic is that relation based tables are given to you, which allows entities and relations among them to form a table. Yeah. Like if you are storing a sequence of data into a Word file, then it would be a bit difficult for you to get it processed. But database gives you the, let's say, hundreds and thousands of records in rows and tables. Yeah.
Yes.
like a database, you must have seen, you understand what is a table. Yeah. Like there are certain columns, for example, like this one. If you need to store, for example, the first name, last name, address, city and age of lots of people, yeah, then you are very easily managing the records of those hundreds and thousand people, in one table, and they are representing, with the columns and the rows. The columns and rows would, they are making a table, a relational table. Yeah. Now I'm introducing you certain terminologies now. Yeah. So for example, if you would be studying like medical science, then you would be introduced with the medical terminology. If you would be, if you are studying the business studies, then you would be introduced with the business terminology. And if you are doing, let's say, mathematics, like Rishwan, you said, then you would be introduced the terminology of the mathematics first, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So in computing, and the every unit has its own terminology. Yeah. So the database gives you a relational tables, like the relationship among the tables and a relation between the row and the column. Make sense? Okay. Next characteristic is the isolation of the data and the application. Yeah. Can you explain how the data and the application can be isolated from each other? Can anyone explain to me? Just a random question. Hello?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Can you explain to me how the data can be isolated from the application in a database?
Oh, I can't really hear you. There's a bit of a voice.
Sorry?
There's a bit of a voice saying, can you like ask me one more time?
You have a problem in voice? Yeah.
I can't really hear you.
Sorry?
I can't really hear you.
Nitin?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you answer the difference of isolation and application?
Isolation is a kind of file where the data is stored, while application is a computing file which is performing logical operations.
No. Rishwan, do you want to answer my question?
I can't hear you. Sorry.
You
Can't
can't
really
hear me at all.
No, I can hear you, but it's not very clear.
Here is the third point, isolation of data and application. Yeah.
Isolation of data and application. Okay.
Yeah, do you want to explain what it is, is, and what is the meaning of this?
Okay, so isolation and data application. So data, like data is on its own, and the application is on its own. I would say, like you said, a database is definitely a database system is entirely different than data. Meaning, like a database is like, say for example, if just say for example, if you run a business and you're trying to like access records of your customer, and you type in the customer's details and everything, like that's for like search. So you have to have like you have to have like a search and like start up like a search engine, like in the application, like functions in the application. So application consists of like different kind of functions. But in order for the entire application to work, it needs like data to be in there for so like for that's
Yeah, that's, you are near, but let me tell you what used to be happen, that in earlier days of computing, yeah, uh, people used to create the softwares, the databases. Their data and the database could only be accessed by their relevant and specific application. Yeah, for example, someone created, about 20 years ago, a database application, and they stored thousands of the records. Yeah, and unfortunately only their developer application could access those, records. Yeah, however, in the current database management system, if you have stored like a 10,000 records, yeah, then those 10,000 records are independent of any application, and these records can be accessed via any application. Any application means you can get these records into a web browser, you can get these records into a form based, you can get these records into a mobile application. Do you get that?
yeah.
That's basically the isolation of the data and the application in current database systems. Nathan?
Yes, I got it.
Yeah. So that's basically the feature. Now you are trying to get, into the databases and how the databases are, working. Yeah, in today's databases. Previously, those were the problems into the applications and the data, that they used to be, tightly coupled, and those were not isolated. Yeah. So next is, there is a less redundancy. Yeah, like a less redundancy, database management system follows the rules of normalization, which splits a relation when any of its attributes is having redundancy, non-usefulness. What happens when you create the database and you are expecting, let's say, 5 tables, yeah, in a database? I hope you are clear that a database is a collection of tables, and tables is the is composed of rows and columns. Is that clear? Yeah.
Yes.
What happens?
Yeah.
It is possible that instead of using 5 tables, probably you can have 3 tables, and you are using 2 extra tables. Yeah.
Okay.
For example, if you created a student record, and student correspondence address is stored into the student table, and possibly in the, let's say, subjects studied by the student, yeah, is another table, would it be sensible that you always store the student address into the subjects, uh, uh, studied by the student?
No.
Rishwan? What
Yeah,
happens?
I'll say so.
Yeah. Do you get that?
Yeah, I'll
What
say so.
happens when you repeat, like let's say the address information is only needs to be stored in association with the student details, but if you
Yeah.
are storing the address with the subject selected by the student, then it would be a kind of redundant data. Yeah,
Yes.
non-useful
Irrelevant.
data into the table. Yeah, so
Yep.
that's basically called the redundancy. So databases allows you to get the data to reduce the redundancy. Yeah, so that you will be
Yes.
going through the process of normalization. Yeah, then consistency. Consistency is the state where every relation in a database remains consistent, non-changeable. Yeah, non-changeable means once you click the button of save button, then it's not going to be changed. However, if it was the, let's say, Word file, then by mistake when you type on the keyboard and you get the you know get your keyboard type, and they change anywhere in the screen or anywhere in the page, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, but
Yep.
databases give you a consistent non-changeable things to you, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. Can I ask about the timing? Will you be okay to continue for next 30 minutes as well, or you want me to stop the session and continue from the next session? Because we have 4 minutes left in our 1 hour session interval.
Next session we will continue it because the slides are more.
That's fine.
Hello, Rishwan?
That's fine. Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Like fine, like you want to stay or you want to continue in the next session?
We can continue next session.
Okay, that's fine. So make sure that you remain on time, maybe 15 minutes before you come online, and get
Mhm.
the session connected. Yeah, get
When
joined.
will,
Yeah,
when will be the next session, sir? For
on
the
Thursday.
database session? Thursday. Okay.
Yeah, but make sure that you come earlier, maybe 10 minutes
Yeah.
before. I will come earlier as well. We shouldn't have
Yeah.
any problem of connectivity. Yeah,
Yeah.
and should have a complete 60 minutes, so that we will cover up the this session as well as the next session.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I hope
Yes.
that you should have you should be fine with my delivery of the lectures, and still you're most welcome to give me feedback after the session. And if you want me to change any way of delivery, yeah, then I would appreciate your suggestion and I would try to adapt. Today I could go through the lots of slides, but it was important to discuss about the assignments and the way how we can interact with each other. That's most important, because it was the first session with the Rishwan as well. And I realize that there are certain problems on your side on the internet, but kindly make sure that there shouldn't be any external noise over there. You try to remain on the a quiet place, and your phones and other applications on the laptop should be closed at all, so that there shouldn't be any the background sounds, you know and they would be good to maintain the decorum of the class, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you are most welcome to give your feedback and get connected via the email as well as the new WhatsApp group. And I would see you on Thursday again, and we will
Sounds good.
cover the sessions. Yeah.
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 Okay. I would see you Thursday, and bye for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay
Thank
then.
you, sir.
Bye.